Hello and welcome to this tutorial for the board game Rajas of the Ganges. What you have to do during your turn is very easy. But as you can see, you have loads of choices. Explaining that will take up most of the time. But let's just start at the beginning. This track, going from here to here, is the money track. This other track with the bigger spaces going from here to here is the fame track. As soon as one player has their money marker and their fame marker reach each other, you finish the round and then the game is over. That player will be the winner. No scoring points, no bonuses, that's all. When someone's money marker and fame marker come together on these tracks, it's over and that player wins. You get money and fame by just playing the game. Next, what is a round? That's easy. Every player has these workers. As soon as everyone's workers have been placed on the board, the round is over. Take all your workers back and start the next round. So, what do you do when it's your turn? As I've said before, that's very easy. When it's your turn, you take one of your workers and place it on the game board. You get the reward of whatever space you put it on. That's all. Take a worker and place it. Once you've done what you're supposed to do, it's the next player's turn. When it's your turn again, you place another one of your workers on the board. That leaves me with the task of explaining each space on the game board. What does it all mean? Let's start with the spaces in the palace here. If you place your worker here, you can take one orange die from the supply. You roll it and place it on your own statue that you keep in front of you. It has room for 10 dice. That's it. You'll be needing dice for the other spaces. If you place your worker here, here, or here, it's exactly the same, but then take one die in one of the other colors. If you place your worker here, you can put one orange die back into the supply to get 2 purple dice in return. You roll them and put them on your statue. It's the same for these other 3 spaces, but for other color dice. And finally, there's this space here. If you place your worker here, you get 2 money, and you get to re-roll any number of your own dice if you want. Moving up in the palace, these spaces. You can see that there is something inside the space where you put your worker on. That means it's the price you have to pay to put it there. These spaces down here are empty, so they're free. But if it shows something on the space, that means first you have to pay the price before putting your worker on it. If you want to go here, you have to discard a die with the number 1 on it, a number 2, 3, and so on. Just look at what it says on the space. Let's go through them. Number 1. If you place your worker here, you get 2 points on the fame track. So you move your own fame marker up by 2 spaces. And for the next round, you will be the starting player. In case no one put their worker here, the first player elephant goes clockwise to the next player. Number 2. Put your worker here to take 2 dice from the supply. It's up to you which color. You can also mix. Roll them and put them on your statue. And you get to take one of the bonus tokens from here. Pick one and flip it over and get whatever it shows. The token goes off the board. Space number 3. If you place your worker here, you can take 1 die from the supply and you go up 2 spaces in karma. Move your own little cube up 2 spaces on this track up here. This is karma. What do you use this for? That's easy, and it's depicted right next to it. If you spend 1 karma, you can turn one of your dice upside down. It can be very handy. Space number 4. Get 3 money. So move up on the money track, and you can move one of your own cubes up 1 space on one of these palaces. These are the 4 palaces, and every player has one of their cubes on each palace. When you can go up by 1, pick a palace and slide your cube 1 space to the right. This gives you more fame points. I'll get to that later. Space number 5, I'll skip for now. Number 6, place your worker here to go forward exactly 6 spaces with your own little boat on the river. You get the reward of the space where your boat lands on. The rulebook shows you what each space means. Let's move to the river and see what you can do there. You can place your workers on one of these spaces here to move your own little boat forward. It's possible the space is free, or that you have to pay money to place your worker here. If you do, then move your own money marker down on the money track. And then you look at the boats. You can spend one of your dice with a 1 on it to move forward 1 space. Or spend a die with the number 2 on it to move forward up to 2 spaces. Or you can spend a die with the number 3 on it to go forward up to 3 spaces. You get the bonus that your boat ends on. That's what you move your boat for, to get bonuses. If your boat happens to go across this bridge, you can even take this worker to use for the rest of the game. Every player can have a maximum of 5 workers. Only one detail about moving your boat. If there is another boat in front of you, you don't count that space. Just step over it as if it doesn't exist. 2 more areas to go. And now things get a little more complicated. The quarry, this green area. You place your worker here to buy one of the tiles that you can place on your own landscape board. To place a worker on one of these spaces, you have to pay money. It'll show you on the space. You go down on the money track. Then you have the supply of tiles to choose from here. You can pick 1, but each tile has a price on it. You pay for these in dice. Each tile shows a particular color and a number. You can already guess what that means. You have to pay in dice from that color, and then they have to be worth at least that number. Sometimes you only need to pay using 1 of your dice. Often you'll need at least 2. There is no limit to how many dice of that particular color you spend, as long as you reach the number that the tile is asking for. If you pay a higher number, you don't get any change back. Keep in mind that you can always use karma to turn a low number up to a high number. Once you've made your choice and paid the price, you take the tile and place it on your own board. There's only one rule for that. Wherever you place it, one of the roads that it shows on the tile must lead to the palace. Each board has a palace at the top in the middle. Your new tile must be placed in such a way that the road leads to the palace. Alright, what do you get for placing a tile? If a tile shows one of the 4 palaces on it, you immediately get those points. Just look at which palace it is, and then look at the same palace on the game board and see where your own little cube is. For example, this tile shows the golden palace. My cube on the golden palace is on 3, so I get 3 fame points. I move my marker 3 spaces forward on the fame track. If I reach this space, I can take my worker from there to use for the rest of the game. That's it. If it shows a palace, then for only one time get instant points for the palace. It's also possible that the tile you bought has a market on it. That's a blue tent. It'll have money showing next to it and an icon for which market it is. Tea, silk, or spices. As soon as you place the tile, you get the money that's on the tile. But it could give you more money later. So again, pay money for the space to place your worker, put it here, pick a tile and pay for it in dice, and then place the tile on your own board to get fame points if there's a palace on it, and or money if there's a market on it. If you happen to place the tile somewhere against the side of the board where it shows an icon, you get that as a bonus as well. The last area on the game board, the market. This is to get more money from the markets that you already own on your own player board. You don't have to pay any money to place your worker on any of these spaces. You place your worker here on the tea market to get money from your tea markets. If you discard a die with a 1 on it, you get money for 1 of your tea markets. If you discard a die with a 2 on it, you get money for 2 of your tea markets, and so on. Same goes for this silk market and this spices market. If you happen to have 6 tiles with a spice market on them, you can place your worker here and discard a die with a 6 on it to get money for all your 6 spice markets. If you move your money marker up so much that it reaches your own little token on the money track, you get whatever bonus it shows, and then you flip over the token and place it on the next nearest space of the money track. It's a little bonus that you keep running into as you get more money. Finally, there are these 2 spaces. They show all the 3 markets: tea, silk, and spices. Place your worker here to get money for 1 of your tea markets, plus 1 of your silk markets, plus 1 of your spice markets. If you happen to not have one of those markets, you just get money for the other 2. The only rule for these spaces is if you placed your worker on one of these spaces, you're not allowed to place it on the other one. You have to keep that free for another player. That's it. Those were all the spaces on the board. The palace, to either get new dice, exchange 1 die for 2 others, or one of the specific spaces up here, or go to the river to move your boat for bonuses. You can go to the Quarry to buy tiles for your own player board, or go to the market to get money for the markets you have on your own player board. One last space that I skipped earlier, this one in the palace with the number 5. If you go here, you're allowed to build a tile on top of another tile. You might want to fix a mistake, or you just feel like it. Just go here to do that. Check the rulebook for how that works with payment. That was a lot of information, but you can always look at the board for instructions. Almost anything has an icon to help remind you what it does. I hope you feel like you kind of understand how to play Rajas of the Ganges and that you'll have a good time with it when you play it. Thank you for watching. Feel free to leave a comment and see you for the next one.